Hey, what is up guys? DRC3 here, back with another My Hero Ultra Impact video, and today we're going to be talking about whether you should pass or pull on the upcoming Christmas banner. That banner is called Santa Girls and Secret Presents Recruit. It is going to feature a brand new UR Tsuyu Asui and a brand new SR Mina Ashido. Now personally, I said this in the last video when I talked about all the brand new stuff that was coming to the game in My Hero Ultra Impact. I said I wish Mina was the UR. I still feel that way. I wish she had been the UR. Honestly, I feel like her kit would be better with UR stats, but they decided to make her an SR for whatever reason. And in addition to these two characters, we're also getting new memories, so we're going to talk about those new memories as well. And then at the end of this video, I'm going to let you guys know my personal opinion about whether I think you should pass or pull on this banner based on the worth of the memories and based on the worth of the characters. So starting out is the SR memory called Spitting Image. It increases character speed by 25%, increases character's power by 20%, once per battle regenerates character's HP by 20% for 3 turns when HP is below 50%. Okay, overall, it's a very solid memory. It's a mid memory, okay? Like it's not bad, it's not good, it's very mid, so it's a solid memory. The artwork, amazing. The artists always kill the artwork on every single memory that they ever do. Like it always looks really, really good. The memories are one thing you absolutely have to look forward to in this game. The character arts are sometimes hit or miss, sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're subpar, they're mediocre, it just depends, okay? But in this case, the SR art, amazing. So if you wanted this SR art, that's a reason to summon in and of itself. However, the memory itself, increasing speed by 25% is not great. The only reason speed is ever going to matter, at least right now in the game, is mainly for PvP, and increasing your speed by 25% is just not going to cut it against other people's PvP teams who are running an increase of speed by 50%, which is absolutely ridiculous. Other people also have memories that increase their own speed by 25% and reduce your speed by 25%, which is automatically makes that memory better than this one right here. Okay, increasing power is good, but it's only by 20%. There are plenty of other memories I can think of off the top of my head, like 5 of them that increase your power and by a significant amount more, like 35%, 40%, and some of those even have like plus ultra gauge raise with them or crit rate with them, which makes them even better. So this is once again kind of subpar. And then once per battle regenerates character's HP by 20%. Not great. You don't really need that because we have characters to do that, like Nijire or Araka, the brand new Jiro. There's plenty of characters who can increase your HP when you drop below a certain threshold. So very overall mid SR memory. Of course, this is just the SR memory, so we can't base our whole opinion for the banner off of this. Next, we have the UR memory Secret Meeting. Increases character skill impact by 30% when equipped by a hero. That is amazing. That's actually a really, really good effect. Increasing skill impact is really good. It's going to make you hit even harder. Okay, but let's continue. Reduces damage to a character by 20% when ecstatic. Okay, there's plenty of characters that make themselves ecstatic. Okay, so that could work out. Once per battle, shortens character's action skill cooldown time by 2 when character's HP is below 50%. If they had just gotten rid of that last part, when character's HP is below 50%, this would be the memory. This would be the memory everybody wanted and needed, because reducing action skill cooldown time by 2 is absolutely phenomenal. That would have been freaking fantastic. But then they added on when character's HP is below 50%. And honestly, that screws over a lot of uses for this memory, because you want something that's consistently usable. You're not going to be able to use this in VE Tower because you're not going to know when you drop below 50% or if you're going to drop below on every single run, and then you're relying on yourself to drop below that 50% to get that reduced action skill cooldown time. It's just not reliable. Same thing for PvP. You can't be relying on your health to drop below 50% to all of a sudden be able to use your action skills. That's a problem. Okay, so this memory, not great. It seems like it was tailor designed for the Asui because it increases skill impact and reduces damage when the character is ecstatic. She can make herself ecstatic, so reducing damage when she's ecstatic, this memory is definitely made for her. But overall, they're not going to give you a lot of benefit. I could see the increase in skill impact by 30% being useful in VE Tower potentially if you have a character like Fantasy Todoroki on your team who can increase your crit, because then you're going to hit a lot harder with your skill impact with characters, maybe to reach those max damage numbers that you're looking for on a 3-turn clear VE Tower. But other than that, I don't see these other things being of a lot of use because you are not going to run this memory in PvP when you could be running a speed memory typically, unless like with the new Jiro, it could switch it up and make this memory a little more available to use. But honestly, I would say a very, very mid memory once again. It's not bad. It's not good. The thing that could have made it phenomenal is if they had just removed this part right here, when character's HP is below 50%. Like, that ruined the whole thing for me personally. But the art, once again, the artist killing it, absolutely killing it. Whoever's coming up with this stuff, like, I get you don't want to make it too broken too fast, but it's a gacha game. You know, we just had fantasy characters come out, and now you're hitting us with mid memories. Like, yeah, we're gonna want to summon for those, right? No, you're gonna put all your gems in on the fantasy banners. So I don't know what the move is here, but I don't think this is the right one. Continuing on, we have the new UR character, Tsuyu Asui, Yule Gifts version. Her plus ultra move is called Froppy Gift. It deals 650% damage to a single opponent, reduces damage to all allies by 20% for 3 turns when character is ecstatic. Okay, that is really good. Reducing damage of all allies across the board. I don't think we have any other character that does anything quite that good or quite that much. That is really, really good. Also increases plus ultra move skill impact of all allies by 30% for 3 turns. Increasing plus ultra move skill impact by 30%? That is actually insane. It's going to make your plus ultras hit so much harder. Like, that in itself is an insane ability. Absolutely ridiculous. It's going to help you hit those big numbers with your plus ultras that you're looking for. But then again, what the question becomes, are you going to be able to hit those plus ultras? Because people have evasion, barriers, all that other stuff going on in PvP. But this could be very, very good for PvE, where you don't have to worry about that stuff and you're trying to hit max damage within 3 turns or so. So honestly, her plus ultra, I really, really like it. It's so good. Her first action skill is evasive support. It regenerates HP of all allies by 10% for 2 turns when character is ecstatic. Once again, a support unit. I like it. I wish it healed a little bit more than 10%. 10% is not a lot, okay? Reduces damage to all allies by 20% for 3 turns. Once again, love that. Across the board, really, really good. Decreasing damage, really, really good. So if you couple this along with this, let's say she gets the plus ultra first before the other team in PvP, that means you are now getting, it'll be the 3rd turn for this going on if you use this turn 1. And you're also getting the 20% damage reduction from this. So you are getting a 40% defense on the plus ultra turn in PvP, which could help your character survive. Like, that's really, really good, okay? Also increases speed of all allies by 30% for 3 turns. That's really good too, because that's hopefully the goal here, or the idea behind it, is going to make it so you get the first turn on the 3rd turn, the plus ultra turn, when you need it, okay? But here is the big problem. And that is a cooldown time of 6, okay? So if PvP goes any longer than 3 turns or 4 turns, essentially, you are going to be SOL, because you are not going to have action skills for another 2 turns, 2 or 3 turns after turn 3. That's going to be a pain in the butt, unless you have a character who shortens action skill cooldown time, or a memory that shortens action skill cooldown time. But realistically, you don't want to run a memory that does that, because you're going to want a speed memory or some other memory for your character. So this really screws over her whole kit. This one cooldown of 6 screws everything over. But the action skill, the first action skill, the plus ultra, I really, really love the effects. They're really good so far. Her second action skill is called Froppy Kick. It deals 400% damage to a single opponent, makes all allies ecstatic for 4 turns. Amazing. But then they add this on. When character is affected by damage down. Oh boy. So once again, I don't like this part specifically, because you are relying now on the enemy to make it so you can use all of your ability. What type of sense does that make? I think it should be based on your own team or your own memory, stuff like that. Like, that's the whole point. We have memories so we can add them onto characters to get their additional effects. Now we have, unless we have a memory that lowers our own damage, we have no way to make this happen. We are completely reliant on the enemy to make ourselves ecstatic, which kind of sucks. Now, if it does happen, you're making all allies ecstatic, which is really, really good, and for 4 turns, which is really, really good. But it might be more difficult than you think to actually get damage down on your characters. There are a lot of damage down abilities and characters who can do that in game, but I think it's going to be harder than you guys think. So that makes it a little bit rough. And then the second part of this effect also decreases the opponent's power by 20% for 4 turns. I'll take that. That's not bad. That's good. Decreasing power by 20% for 4 turns. That'll help you survive. So not only are you increasing defense, you're decreasing their power. Overall, you're making your team very, very tanky with this character and making it so the enemies cannot hurt you. Seems very PvP oriented for a 3-turn PvP fight. However, the problem is I just don't see that happening in PvP currently. Her first auto skill is called Flexible Thinking. When a wave starts, makes all allies ecstatic for 3 turns and decreases power of all opponents by 25% for 3 turns. So this makes up for whatever this is right here where you need damage down. Like, as long as she is getting 3 turns, this is the 3-turn thing I was talking about. They want this done in 3 turns where she is making your all allies ecstatic. This is really good, okay? Like, this auto skill saves the kit. And then decreases power of all opponents by 25% for 3 turns. Once again, saves the kit. So basically, on the plus ultra turn, they are losing 20 plus 25%. That is 45% power. You are gaining a 40% defense increase. That's going to make it really hard for them to kill you on the plus ultra turn if you have this character on your team. That's the whole idea behind this character. She seems to me, in my opinion, in my mind, very, very PvP oriented. Hey, we're going to finish this in 3 turns. The problem, once again, comes down to characters have evasion, characters have barriers, characters have all this other stuff going on, which is going to make her hard to use. Her second auto skill is called Peace of Mind, increases skill impact of all allies by 30% when character is affected by damage down. There we go again with that. So, could be good, but I don't know how often we're actually going to get that. Once per battle, when the HP is below 50%, reduces damage to character by 20%. So let's say she's below 50%, turn 1 or turn 2. That means plus ultra turn, you now have a 60% defense buff on this character, which is ridiculous, for 3 turns and regenerates character's HP by 20% for 3 turns. So that's also not bad. That's a pretty good, like, this one right here is not a bad auto skill. I just, once again, wish the damage down thing wasn't a stipulation, but overall, a very ridiculously good kit. The few problems I have with it are cooldown time and the damage down thing. And because of those things, like, this cooldown time is just so hard to overlook. It's so hard to overlook. A cooldown time of 6 because I don't feel like you're actually going to get PvP done in 3 turns. I just don't know if she's worth it. Honestly, I don't know. It's hard to say. We'll take a look at the SR character, of course, too. But before we do that, take a look at the arts if you didn't see them in my previous video. The arts are amazing. The art team saves this unit. Like, this makes you want to summon for it. This awakened art with the gifts, amazing. Really, really good. And then, not to mention, this character is also limited, right? They're not going to be a general pool banner. So if for nothing else, you might want to summon just because this character is limited and you won't be able to pull them later. Fair game. They might come back next Christmas. We don't know. It's yet to be seen. This is kind of the first time they're doing that. All right, next we have the SR Mina Ashido. Her plus ultra move is called Acid Shot, deals 500% damage to a single opponent, shortens character's action skill cooldown time by 1, also makes character ecstatic for 3 turns. Amazing. This character should have been a UR. Her first action skill is called Acid Present, increases skill impact of all allies by 25% for 3 turns. Amazing. Increases plus ultra gauge of all allies by 30%. Amazing. Shortens action skill cooldown time of all allies by 1. Would be amazing, but then they add on this little tidbit when character is affected by damage down. I can't be having that, and then I also can't be having the cooldown time of 6 on an SR character. It makes it so hard to use them. It was looking so good up until these last 2 parts. So kind of same problems here that you had with Tsuyu. It's just that she's not going to be super usable with a cooldown time of 6, and I don't like relying on outside the enemy team to make it so I can now use my abilities. That's kind of a pain in the butt. Her second action skill is called Acid Shot, deals 300% damage to a single opponent, decreases the opponent's defense by 20% for 3 turns, also reduces damage to character by 20% for 3 turns when the opponent's power is decreased. Okay, that is really good, and there's lots of ways to decrease the opponent's power, so she will easily get that damage reduction on herself. Decreasing the opponent's defense is always very, very good, especially in VE Tower and PvP. So this move right here, solid move, only a cooldown time of 4, which is really good. Her first action skill is called Cheerful Girl. Increases character's power by 30%. That's amazing. That's going to make her at least a decently hard-hitting SR character. Also decreases the power of a single opponent by 20% for 3 turns when a wave starts. Okay, once again, really pretty decent. And so right here, you can see she's decreasing the power of the opponent by 20% for 3 turns. That means when this action skill comes around, she is for sure at least going to be able to reduce her damage by 20% because the power will be decreased, at least for the first use of this action skill. After 3 turns though, you are going to be relying on something else to do a power down on the enemy besides this auto skill. Her second auto skill is Sprightly Steps. Gives character the ability to evade 2 times when battle starts. Wow. That is actually ridiculous. That right there, in my mind, makes this kit almost valuable, almost worth being a UR character. That is really, really good. Like, that is insane. Also increases character skill impact by 30% when HP is below 50%. I wish we didn't have the 50% stipulation. If it just increased her skill impact by 30% and then you're increasing her power by 30%, that would be amazing. But when you drop her below 50%, she's going to hit even harder. Now, that's not super important because she's an SR, but if this was a UR, oh, you bet that would make a difference. That would be really, really insane. And of course, let's take a look at her arts as well. For an SR art, look at these. These are SR arts. It almost looks better than Sue. Does it not? Like, let me know in the comments what you guys think. You know, I might be biased. Do you think Sue's art looks better, or do you think Mina's art looks better? Personally, I like Mina's art almost better, in my opinion. But then, of course, like I said, that is my opinion. Anyways, guys, now to the end of the video, to the main point of the video. Should you pass or pull on this banner? The answer, in my opinion, after looking at the characters, after looking at the memories, is that all of these characters, both the Sue and the Mina, and all of the memories, both the UR and the SR memory, are very mid-tier compared to what we just got with the fantasy characters. They are not great. I don't think they're going to be super useful in any specific scenario. I'm sure they can find their uses if you're lacking characters, but for someone like me, who has most of the characters in game and has tried most of the characters in game, I would say they are very mid. They are not going to be the best characters in game. And what really like affirms that for me is whenever you see a cooldown time of like 6 on a character, like there is on both of these characters, that really messes with how good a character can be. Like, they may be good, they may be usable in certain situations, but they are not going to be, you know, Fantasy Jiro, Ocean Sun, or Araka level of useful, level of good. So in my opinion, I would suggest passing on this banner. I would not recommend pulling on it if you are trying to save up hero gems, because there will be better characters in this down the line for sure. On the other hand, if you are just trying to collect all the characters and you like limited characters, because these will not be general pool units, then you should summon on this banner. Okay, so it's really up to you and what you prefer. Are you looking to collect characters, or are you looking to get the best characters? All right, but in my opinion, I would personally recommend to pass on this banner. Of course, you know me, and I will be summoning on this banner no matter what. So if you guys would like to see that summon video and you're not already subscribed, there's so many of you guys literally that are not subscribed, and I'm trying to hit 10,000 subscribers and I need your help. Please go down there, hit that subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, and to everybody that has already subscribed, thank you so much. Leave me your comments, guys, leave some likes, subscribe, and thank you guys for watching. Happy holidays. Peace.